Howdy folks, Richard Keene here. So have not done a YouTube video in a while, but looking to start doing these daily. I've been doing personal growth for I think 37 years now. Invested a very, very large amount. And in the last 3 to 4 years, really amped it up. What I've learned has been extremely profound. So part of this is to try to make your path hopefully way simpler and way less expensive. So that's the goal here. Okay. So how many people have a reactive part of yourself when something happens and we feel reactive? Okay. I'm assuming, if we're being honest, everybody has their hand up. I know I still have that happen. Okay. So I attended University of Santa Monica, total of 3.5 years. I'm trained as a soul-centered professional coach, master's degree in spiritual psychology. That was a very profound program. And the one thing I want to talk on today that I think was very profound when I heard it, and it was Ron Holnick, who was the president of University of Santa Monica, and somebody was doing a share, and they talked about standing up for themselves. Okay, so hear that. We hear that all the time. And the emotional reactive part of ourselves that's not fully healed hears that, and it makes sense. I need to stand up for myself, okay? His comment, which was profound for that weekend when I went, that was definitely the gold nugget for the weekend, was he stated, I prefer the concept of standing in myself as opposed to standing up for myself. Radical difference, profound difference in your life. And hear this, learning this part radically will change your life profoundly. Your ability to make better income profoundly goes up with this. Anxiety level will profoundly drop when you learn how to do this. Relationships will get profoundly better. Okay, this is basically mastering that reactive emotional part of us that feels and thinks it needs to stand up for itself. But when I stand in myself, I'm mastering doing my inner work. Okay, the part that's reacting, okay, that's up in this part is reacting. Okay, but my heart, your soul level, knows how to heal. Okay, the longest journey you'll take is from your head down. I'm going to put it down here, down into your heart. That's the journey you were always meant to take. Until you do that, you're going to have anxiety. Until you do that, you're going to make relationships way more complicated, because it's your own inner relationship to yourself that hasn't been fully healed. Okay, when we're up here, the emotional reactive part of us is like, okay, right when that happens, that means your skull's in session. We don't make that right or wrong. We don't get in blame mode, but that's an emotional reactive unhealed part of me that actually needs me to, and this is at that school, they'd say the issue is never the issue. The issue is how you treat yourself as you're going through the issue. And I heard that 50 to 100 times every single weekend for 3.5 years. So I don't know, do the math on that, but probably at least 1,000 times, if not more. So I hear that chronically. So when I'm triggered, it's not the outside world. That's not it. The issue is how I treat myself as I'm going through the issue. Okay, I'm triggered. There's a part of me that's reacting. But that's mine to own, mine to process. And what a lot of people, and this was again explained in that school, is healing is applying love to the parts that hurt. Okay? So that reactive part of myself that's offended, okay, has not learned to value. I have not totally learned to value myself enough that when somebody says something offensive, I'm still triggered. Still inner work that's not fully completed. Okay. When I complete that, I'm gaining my power back. I'm dropping from here. I'm doing my inner work. And I'm letting my heart, my soul help. The heart and soul knows it's time to heal all this crap. Period. Okay. So each time I'm triggered, I'm starting to heal, starting to learn to value myself. As I do that, I start getting my anxiety drops down and my ability to own and live from my heart and not protecting. Why are people up in their head? Because they're protecting, and that's them. Okay? So they go up into their head. It's never gonna work. You're not a robot. Okay? You can't think your way out of this. Good luck on that. You're gonna have stress and anxiety because you don't really know who you are. That's why you're up in your head. Okay, the longest journey you'll take is from your head to your heart. Okay, you avoid taking that journey, life will always be 1,000 times more complicated. Okay, take that journey, go down in your head. I'm sorry, heart, got it wrong. And learn to value who you are. Learn to master doing this. You do this routinely. You master. This is emotional mastery. Master owning you. So now you don't need to defend. And I'll just finish. Deepak Chopra said, defenselessness can never be defeated. If I'm protecting, that's my ego that thinks I need to protect. My soul knows I don't need to do that. Okay? Your soul knows it's time for you to realize you've always been valuable. The correct answer is always simple. Okay, you learn that truth and you start healing this internal stuff. Relationships get better. Your ability to generate more income gets better. Anxiety and stress drops because now you know who you are. Okay? If you like this, like it, share it. Trying to help people learn how to like who they are. Okay? That's the mission. All right, thanks.